last class we discussed about I/O interfacing techniques. So let us see at a glance, there are two types of I/O interfacing techniques. So one is a non-programmable interfacing. For non-programmable interfacing, hardware circuitry are the latches, buffers, decoders and multiplexers. So programmable interfacing devices are the 8255, 8259 and go with 8251, 8279, 8253 and 8237 or 57. So basically based on the application of the interfacing, so we have to change the appropriate programmable interfacing devices. So 8255. So after that we seen the non-programmable interfacing devices, latches. So and followed by buffers, input port and output ports. Very simple example already was seen as how to interface the 8 LEDs. Then after that, so we've seen about the how to interface the switches. The switches are acts as a input devices and the LEDs or the display units, they act as a output devices. So these are the two examples how to interface the input and output devices with a non-programmable concept. But the next one is, so for accessing the data from the input and output devices through the programmable interfacing devices, so we have to use 8255. So 8255 name is programmable peripheral interface. This one consists of 4 ports. So names of the ports is port A, port B, port C lower and port C upper. Otherwise, we simply say that it has 3 ports, port A, port B and port C. Each one is 8-bit wide. Otherwise, it has 4 ports. Among the 4, 2 are the 8-bit ports and 2 are the 4-bit ports. So these ports are organized as two groups. So one is a group A control, another one is the group B control. The group A consists of 8-bit port A and followed by the port C upper port. The port C upper port bits are PC4 to PC7. The group B control, it consists of 8-bit port B and followed by the port C lower. Port C lower is PC0 to PC3. So it is organized as two groups. So these groups, these ports, so which are controlled by read and write control logic. The read and write control logic consists of 6 defined signals. So among that, the very important one is chip selection. CS bar, it is a low active signal. Whenever it is low, the 8255 is selected for operation. So otherwise, 8255 is not selected. So we can't perform any read and write operations. Next, read bar. So read bar signal is a low active signal. Whenever it is low, the data can read from the device by the processor through 8255. Write bar as usual. So whenever we need to send the data towards the output devices or display units, so the data can write by the processor through the selective port. So next, A1 and A0 are the address lines of 8255, which are used to select any one of the ports. So which are used to select any one of the ports. So this is, so A1 and A0, when A1 and A0 are 00, so port A of 8255 is selected. So 101 port B is selected, 10 port C is selected. So 1 and 11 the control word register is selected. The another interfacing, the way of connections of the A1 and A0 with the 8086 processor is, the A2 address line of 8086 processor is connected to the A1 address line of 8255 and A1 address lines of 8086 processor is connected to the A0 address line of 8255. So that is a way of connecting the hardware lines. So the data bus buffer in 8255 is straight away connected to the data bus buffer of the 8086 processor for exchanging the data between the device and processor through 8255. So this is yesterday, I think we've seen about this one is. Next, this is a control word register format. So 8255 is operates in two modes. One is IO mode, another one is the BSR mode. BSR mode stands for bit set and reset. So in IO mode of operation, 3 ports are available for the data transfer, but in BSR mode of operation, the only one port, that is port C, is available for data transfer. That is one of the difference between. So how to differentiate whether the processor is whether the 8255 is operates in IO mode or BSR mode is with the help of the control word register MSB bit, D7 bit. Whenever the MSB bit is 1, so 8255 is operates in IO mode, otherwise it is operates in bit set and reset mode. So whenever it is in D7 equal to 0, the format is different. The format is different from IO mode control word register format. So this is the format of control word register whenever D7 bit is 1. That means 8255 is operates in IO mode of operation. Again, in IO mode of operation, so there are 3 sub mode of operations. One is mode 0, mode 1 and mode 2 operations. So each port you can use any one of these sub modes of IO mode. So that selection, that operational selection is decided by writing the data in a control word register. That is the meaning for programming. We have to write something in a control word register. According to that, the 8255 environment is initialized for exchanging the data between the device and the processor through the 8255 ports. So apart from, let us see one by one. So let us see LSB bit D0. So whenever D0 equal to 0, that is respective to the port C lower bit. Whenever this bit is 1, port C lower is acts as an input. Whenever it is 0, the port C lower is acts as an output for the data transfer. For all the modes. So wherever it is 1 is there, so that particular port is act as an input port. Whenever the bit is 0, that particular port is acts as an output port. So this notation is common for all the ports. So this particular bit is significance for port C lower. The next bit is significance for port B. 1 aithe input port, 0 aithe output port. The next bit is significant for port B mode of operation. So already I told that in IO mode, again we have the 3 sub mode of operations. Mode 0, mode 1 and mode 2. The port B can use in 2 different modes for the data transfer. One is mode 1 operation, another one is mode 0 operation. Whenever D2 bit is 1, mode 1 operation. Whenever D2 bit is 0, mode 0 operation. Reverse lo undandi, please change that one is. So mode 0 is mode 0 operation. 1 means mode 1 operation. Next.
Screen share.
Screen share kaledandi. Yes?
Kaled, sir.
Avuna, inda nunchi kaleda?
No,
sir.
no, sir.
Oh, mara cheppochu kadandi. 1 second. Is it okay right now?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let us see. This is the IO mode of operation. So in IO mode of operation format, so D0 is respective for port C lower, D1 is respective for port B, D2 is respective for mode selection of the port B. So here, whenever D2 equal to 1, the port B is acts as in mode 1 operation. Whenever D2 bit is 0, it is acts in mode 0 operation. Just you have to change this part is. Next, D3 bit is respective to port C upper. If it is 1, it acts as an input port. If it is 0, it acts as an output port. Next, D4 is respective to the port A, input or output port. For port A, mode selection. So the port A can used as a data port. So in port mode 0 operation, mode 1 operation, as well as the mode 2 operation. That's why two defined bits are allocated to select any one of the mode of 8255, any one of the mode which are used for data transfer by 8255. So mode 1, 00, mode 0, mode, sorry, idantha reverse lo unnayandi. Mode 0 is 00, 01 for mode 1, 1 and don't care for mode 2 operation, mode 2 operation. So please change this one is, please change this part is. So this is at a glance IO mode format of so and so. Next, coming to the in BSR mode of operation, bit set reset. In bit set reset mode, only port to C is available for data transfer. And this particular mode is selected for Boolean operations. Boolean operation means bit is set as well as the or reset. And you can make it as a 0 or you can make it as a 1 only. So for this purpose, here we are using only port to C. Port to C is a 8-bit port. The names of the bits are PC0 to PC7. Among these 8 bits, any one you can select to make it as a 1, to make it as a 0. So that format is like. So whenever the D7th bit, MSB bit, so already in the last slide already were seen, whenever the 7th bit is set as 0, the 8255 is operates in BSR mode. So that is shown here. Whenever this bit is 0, 8255 is operates in BSR mode of operation, BSR mode operation. The next 3 bits are don't care. So they are not used in BSR mode of operation. The next 3 bits are which are used for selecting the 1 bit of port C for set and reset purpose. So PC0 to PC7, there are 8 bits. So for 8 bits there are 8 port bits. So each port bit has separate address. If 000, these 3 bits are 000, that means we are selecting PC0, PC0. That PC0, either you can set or either you can reset. If this bit is 1, PC0 is set and meaning is. If this bit is 0, PC0 is reset. PC0 is set or reset according to this. Suppose this bit selection is 1111. That means you are selecting bit 7 of port C. Bit 7 of port C is PC7. PC7. That PC7 bit, you can make it as either set or reset. So this is the importance of format is. This is only for set or reset the port to C bits only. Port C bits only. We can't use port A, port B. Okay. So that is about the BSR mode of operation of 8255. BSR mode of 8255. At a glance, let us see about a small interfacing with 8255 with 8086 processor. And normally they are given question is just like to interface 8255, to interface digital to analog converter, the how many ports are required, how many ports are required. So that how to interface, So this is about the interfacing diagram to interface 8-bit digital to analog converter. So there are 2 types of digital to analog converters. One is the, can you tell that? What are the different D2As you are studied? Yes? Anyone? One is weighted resistor type, another one is R2R ladder type. R2R ladder type. So in a weighted resistor type, when the size of the bit is increases, so the large size of resistance we have to require. At the same time, if the resistance is increases, so more heat is generated. So the output characteristics are non-linear. So that story is different. Here we require how to interface the digital to analog converters. Digital to analog converters. So for DAC, digital to analog converter, so 0808 has a one port A1 to A8. So this is for accepting the digital data that should be converted into analog form. So this is the output of the analog. This entire op-amp network is the current to voltage converter. So why this network is required is this 0808 is it generates the output in the form of current, in the form of it generates in the form of current. So in the form of current, so that if you want to visible this waveform in a display units, that should be converted into voltage form. That should be converted into voltage form. So that's why that current is converted into voltage form by using current to voltage converter. This is about the current to voltage converter. This one is. Here we are connecting the CRO, that one is, or any display units. So now coming to the connections between 8255 and 808 is, so first of all, so we have based on this one is, it is a 8-bit digital to analog converter. So 8-bit digital to analog converter means it accepts the 8-bit data, digital data, that one is converted into respective analog waveform. So that for 8-bit data, if you want to send the data from 8086 processor through 8255, you are in a position to identify how many ports are required, simply. So the information is 8-bit data. So for 8-bit data, only one port is sufficient. The 8255 has 3 ports, port A, port B, and port C. Among the 3, you can choose any port to transfer the data, That is the first point is. So one port is sufficient. Second point is, so you have to identify that port is acts as an output port or an input port. That is the very second point is. And the digital data is received by the D2A converter. Who send the data? Processor send the data. So processor send the data towards the 8255, then connected to the 0808 digital to analog converter. Then it is automatically generates the so. And the data you are sending from 8086. That means it is out from 8086 processor. So that whatever the port you are selected, that port should be output port. So first point to decide number of ports are required. Second point so we have to identify that particular port is either input port or output port. So once you know this information, you have to prepare one control word according to your requirement. So what's your requirement is, one port is required, that port is input port. This this application is performed in IO mode of operation, simply mode 0 operations. So based on that, so we have to prepare one control word with the help of this control word format. Let us assume that we are using port A. So particularly port A acts as an output port. In which mode of operation? Mode 0 operation. So according to that, we have to put it either ones and zeros within this register. And you have to write ones and zeros among this register. So D7 should be 1. So 6 and 5 should be 0, 0 because it operates in mode 0 operation. So D4 port A is acts as an output port, so that this should be 0. D3 we are not using, so you can make it as either 0 or don't care, whatever that you have to require. D2 we are not using, D1 we are not using, D0 we are not using. So you can make it either zeros or ones, whatever the bits you are not using. But whatever the bits you are using, you should make it appropriate bit value according to the requirement. according to the requirement. So as per our requirement, the simple address data is 80 is sufficient, 8080. So this is about the way of connections and A0 to A7 address lines, you are connected to the so and so. IO read bar and IO write bar. So they are taken from 8086 processor connected to the RD bar and write bar, reset. A0, A1. Already ఇక్కడ చెప్పాను, this is very, very important. Again, ఇక్కడ చిన్న small mistake ఉంది. A1 is connected to here. A1 of this one is connected to A0. This actually this diagram with respect to 8085. But what in our syllabus we have 8086. So we have to make it the connections is A0 is connected to A1, A1 is connected to A2, A1 is connected to A2. So please see the standard textbook for these diagrams. So particularly this one is generates the analog waveform. So that analog waveforms are sawtooth wave, triangular wave, square waves, etc. So here let us see one at a glance. One simple program is to generates the sawtooth wave simply. So for writing the program, the very first one is you are in a position to prepare a control board. So just now I explained how to prepare a control board. So according to your requirement, port A required, that particular port is output port. Mode of operation is mode 0 of operation, mode 0 operation. So with this concern, we have to write control board in control board register, So whether you are writing the data in control board register or a port A, port B, port C, so that can be selected according to the address of that respective ports. So that's why initially we written as move AL control board. So we have to prepare control board, that's simply loaded into this, that can be copied into control board register. The very first three instructions which are used to initialize the 8255 as per the requirement. The requirement is port A, output port, mode 0 of operation, IO mode of operation. Next, after that, we have to send the digital data towards the digital to analog converter. That one is converted into analog form. So that move AL00, this is the initial data we are sending to the port A. Because in a diagram, we are using port A for sending the digital data from the processor. This is out DX. Then increment AL, jump here to here. I think you know that. Sawtooth wave is just is rising and falling the data without any flyback period. So because of that one is increment and jump, repeat the process. Yeah, I think we have an idea regarding this program. That's why I'm not stressing more on this one. So this is about the digital to analog converter. You are in a position to write different programs. So this is simple program for sawtooth wave. Next, you are in a position to write a program for triangular wave. So what is the difference is sawtooth wave. So there is a rise time. The fall time is 0. But in case of triangular wave, so there is a rise time as well as the fall time. And you go with 0 to 5 volts and fall down to 5 volts to 0 volts and repeat the process So that is about the 0 to 5, 5 to 0. As per digital point of view, we said that initially you start the 00 digital data and increment up to FF Again from FF to, so go for decrement up to 00 and repeat the process. Increment or decrement. So that simply you can go with the sawtooth triangular wave. If it is a square wave, so the square wave has only 2 logic levels, either 0 level or whether it is 5 volts. So in between the delay will be the almost all 0. If it is a perfect square wave. So that is logic 0 is 00 and logic 1 is the FF. Send the data 00 and call delay at a required width of the square wave, half time, and again send the digital data FF, again call the delay. So with the required delay of the high state, that can be repeated to get the continuous wave, So that is about the very simple interfacing method D to A. Next, another one is analog to digital interfacing techniques. Analog to digital interfacing. Anyone can tell that what are the analog quantities? What are the analog quantities? What are the analog quantities?
Temperatures.
Temperature. Next.
Pressure.
Pressure. All physical quantities which are available in nature are the analog quantities. Temperature and followed by the pressure and followed by the length and followed by the weight, whatever that, they are all in the nature is in analog quantities. So that can be converted into that can be converted into digital format before displaying. So the temperature is display as 23.5 degrees centigrade or whatever that. So before displaying that one is, you have to capture the temperature. You have to take the sample of the temperature that should be converted into digital format. Then we can go for display. Unit. So this capturing part will taken care by the sensors. Or sometimes we go with transducers. So there is a small difference between the sensors and transducers. So appropriate we are using to capture the analog quantities that can be connected to the processor through the ADC. So now let us see analog to digital converters are two types. One is the direct type analog to digital converters. Another one is the indirect type analog digital converters. So direct type analog digital converters. So whatever the analog input is applied, that can be compared with internally generated standard reference signal. So whatever the input analog quantity is applied, that one is compared with internally generated standard reference signal. So that after that comparison, so sample by sample, it generates the digital data. And the second one is indirect type. So in indirect type analog to digital converter, the input sample is not directly compared with the internally generated reference signal. That analog signal first converted into intermediate format and some other format of that quantity as a function of time or a function of frequency, then compared with internal reference signal. So that is the meaning is indirectly. So one is directly you are compare. The second one is, so indirectly you are comparing the analog input signal. So that is about the, one important call is there. So that is about the direct type and indirect type. indirect type. So ADC 0808 is a 8-bit successive approximation type analog to digital converter. Successive approximation type analog to digital converter. So this ADC, it consists of 8 analog inputs. So that's why it is simply called as 8-channel, 8-bit successive approximation type ADC. So that 8 channels are the 8 analog inputs. 8 analog inputs you can connect at a time. But the conversion is made by single analog input at a time. Single analog input at a time. So these 8 analog inputs at a time you can choose only one channel for the conversion. So that selection is made by ABC address lines. ABC address lines. Whenever A0, B0, C0, that means channel 0 is selected. And the analog input at channel 0 is selected for the conversion of digital format. Conversion of digital format. So that is about the ABC are the address lines. So which are used to select any one of the channel for its conversion. So you are in a position to write a truth table 000 for channel 0, 001 channel 1, so on, so. So normally C is the MSB bit, A and B are the LSB bits. You write CBA, 000, you go with channel 0, 001, next, 111, channel 7. Next. So whatever the input your analog input is selected, that one is converted into digital format with the 8 bits. So O0 to O7 as the digital outputs. So the digital outputs are 07 to 07. So that can be connected to the 8255. From 8255 to this data bus is connected to 8086 processor for reading the digital data. Apart from, there are 2 control signals which initiates or identifying the conversion is completed or not. So whenever the analog input is applied, that can be selected with the address of the ABC lines, then it initiates the start of conversion pulse, start of conversion. So SOC stands for start of conversion. So start of conversion means, so ADC, it initiates the conversion process from analog to digital. If the conversion is completed, analog to digital converter, it automatically initiates end of conversion. That you understand that conversion is completed. If the conversion is completed, that respect to digital data is available on these data lines. That means the data is available on port A or port B or port C or whatever that. So this is the indication to the processor. The indication is conversion is completed so that the data is available on digital data outputs. So this is the one of the status is taken by the 8086 processor for monitoring the end of conversion pulse. So this is the basic steps. So very first one is we have to apply the analog input if any one of the channel. Second one is you are in a position to select one channel. So where your data is applied, or where the data is need to convert into digital format. And third one is you are in a position to initialize the conversion process by sending SOC, start of conversion. After that, so monitoring the end of conversion pulse. So we have to monitor EOC. So whenever EOC equal to 1, so the digital data is read by the 8086 processor. Otherwise, the processor needs to wait until conversion is completed or until EOC equal to 1. So that is about the simple generalized algorithm for doing the analog to digital conversions. So here 3 ports are required for interfacing ADC. Among the three, one 8-bit port is required to read the digital data. Already here, let us see the connections is port A, which is used for reading the digital data, and a port A is acts as a input port, and meaning is input port. Next, port B is used as a to select the one of the analog inputs. So this port is acts as a output port for the selection of the source. And this data is sent by the processor. This data is read by the processor. Next, port to C0 LSB bit, which is used for initiating the SOC pulse. Port C7, which is used to receiving the end of conversion pulse. So extreme bits are taken from port C. One is it's very easy to send the data, or it's very easy to monitor the extreme bits. So that is one of the technique for testing the so and so. Otherwise, you can use any bit. For PC3, you can use PC4, PC5. You can use anyone. But it takes some time to monitoring the such a bits. So that complexity in programming case, complexity in programming part. So that is about the basic idea regarding the analog to digital interfacing. So any doubts regarding these two topics, you can ask. This is very, very important. A to D and followed by the D to A. Both are 8-bit. Yes? Any doubts you can ask. Is it visible to you? This screen is? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let us see the very, very important one is how to transfer the data serially, or how to interface the serial devices. So now let us see universal synchronous asynchronous receiver and transmitter. USART is one of the programmable device which are used to establish the synchronous and asynchronous data transfer between the processor and a communication devices. So do you know about DTE, data terminal equipment? Do you have any idea? Data
No,
terminal
sir.
equipment and data communication equipment. No idea? Your data terminal equipment, your central processing unit. That is a terminal to receive or transmitting the data. The data communication equipment is a device which processes your data before transmitting or before reception. The very simple data communication equipment is a modem, modulator and demodulator. So for doing the synchronous or asynchronous communication, every terminal equipment must be inbuilt with this USART, universal synchronous and asynchronous receiver and transmitter. With this one, the data can transfer either synchronously or asynchronously. So before going to that story, you are in a position to understand what do you mean synchronous communication and asynchronous communication. Synchronous and asynchronous communications. So let us see at a glance. So this is the data terminal equipment. This is the another data terminal equipment. Otherwise, simply call it as this is one system, another one is another system. So the data can be transferred synchronously. The data can be transferred synchronously. Let us see another one is, let us see this diagram is. So this is the transmitter. This is about the receiver. So we are sending the data, a group of bytes. This is frame 1, this is frame 2, this is frame 3. Frame 3. In a synchronous communication, so we are sending the data just like as a group of bits. So that bits may be a 8 bits undachu, Otherwise, you go with 20 bits. Otherwise, you can go with 1 kilobytes, or you can go with 1 megabytes, or etc. So the data, entire data you can send at a time, just like within a 1 clock pulse. So the data is transferred to so and so. Later, some other way you can specify is in synchronous communication, it is a serial byte by byte transfer. Serial byte by byte. Byte means 1 bit of data, 1 bit of data. But let us see in another case, in asynchronous data communication. So this is the transmitter, this is a receiver. Here the data is transferred bit by bit, bit by bit. That means, so for every clock pulse, 1 bit of information is transferred from transmitter to the receiver, transmitter to the receiver. Just like synchronous is a parallel data communication, asynchronous communication is nothing but a serial data communication. In a asynchronous communication, we have one signal line. Through that one, the entire data you can transfer bit by bit, bit by bit. But in case of synchronous communication, so we have group of lines, group of signal lines. Suppose, let us say, transmitter is a receiver. At a time, it receives the 8 bits of information. So that from the transmitter, so we can connect the receiver through 8 signal lines. 8 signal lines. Ledu receiver is a 16 bit, so we can connect 16 signal lines. And n number of signal lines are there, where n is the size of data, where size of the data in terms of bits. So that is a basic idea about the synchronous data communication. So in synchronous data communication, the data is transmitted as a frames or complete data within a 1 clock pulse of time. But very important one is the transmitter and receiver must be connected with a common clock. And they must be in same speed and meaning. They must be in same speed. నేను ఒక రకంగా ఉండి మీరు ఒక రకంగా ఉన్నారనుకోండి, సో ఎవరో ఒకళ్ళు we have to wait, the other person must be understand. But in synchronous communication, understanding అంటే ఏం లేదు. So once the communication is established, both the systems must be run with a same speed. That is the meaning for to synchronize. Speed mismatch ఉందనుకోండి, so the data is lost. The data will be lost. So that's why whenever I am explaining the pin diagram, so there we are using one ready bit, ready. So why for ready is to communicate with slow responding device. Device is slower, so that the processor need to wait until the device is ready to accept the data or to send the data or to receive the data. But ikkada em ledhu, once the communication is established, so that means both are in common, connected with common clock, both are in synchronous to each other. So ekkadaithe mismatch aithe maatramo we are losing the data. So here the point is how to understand the receiver is, how to understand receiver where the data is started. So for every data, the transmitter, it appends one sync character. Based on that sync character, the receiver understands that the data is initiated by the transmitter. అంటే ఫస్ట్ తీసుకునేది సింక్ క్యారెక్టర్. ఆ సింక్ క్యారెక్టర్ రిసీవ్ అయిన వెంటనే ఇట్ అండర్స్టాండ్ దట్ ద నెక్స్ట్ ఇమీడియట్ డేటా ఈస్ ది ఒరిజినల్ డేటా. దట్ ఈస్ ద డేటా టు బి కమ్యూనికేట్ బిట్వీన్ ది ట్రాన్స్మిటర్ అండ్ రిసీవర్. ఇది ఫర్ గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ bytes, 1 or 2 sync characters are transmitted, appended for the communication. But coming to the asynchronous communication, for every bit, for every byte, 2 characters are, for every byte, 2 bits are added. One is the start bit, another one is the stop bit. Please listen carefully. For every character, So that character is represented by using 8 bits. ఇది కమ్యూనికేషన్ అంటున్నాం కాబట్టి that code is ASCII code we have to use to encode the characters. ASCII code is a 7-bit code with parity. 7-bit code with parity. The total bits you have to take with 8 bits. And for every 8 bits, we have to append, and the system append the 2 extra bits. One bit is start bit, another bit is the stop bit. In between, the data is appended. So here let us see, LSB is the data. So this is the MSB is the end of the data. So this entire one we call it as a character. LSB to MSB is the one character. So for every this character, one start bit is added. This is the start bit. Always the start bit is 0. So next stop bit is 1. So parity bit is optional. So based on the system, that parity bit may be added, may not be added, but the stop bit and start bits are mandatory for the asynchronous data communication. This can be added for every character. అంటే ప్రతి 8 bits కి 2 characters యాడ్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఇప్పుడు 100 క్యారెక్టర్లు ఉన్నాయంటే 100 into 2, 100 into 2 అంటే 200 additional bits we have to add. So that is about the asynchronous data communication. For in asynchronous data communication, for every byte, 2 bits are appended. One is start bit, another one is stop bit. Parity bit is optional. Parity add cheste, the total frame is 11 bits untayi. If the parity is not added, the asynchronous frame has 10 bits. Among the 10, LSB is the start bit, MSB is the stop bit. In between, 8 bits are the character. So that is about the asynchronous data communication data format. So now the question is, why the start bit is 0? Why can't you go for 1? Anyone? Start bit is 0, stop bit is 1. So why can't you go for start bit as a 1? Yes? Anyone? Why start bit is 0? Why start bit is 0? Let us see why the start bit is 0 means. Normally, when there is no communication between the system 1 and system 2, the signal line is forced into ideal state. During ideal state, the signal line consists of sequence of ones. Ones untai continue ga 1 1 1 1 1 1 untundi. That is the indication is ideal communication. And there is no communication between system 1 and system 2. So whenever the data is started, sent by the system 1, that must be understood by the system 2. That is the receiver. Yes, the data is started. Data start కాలేదనుకోండి, always system 2 it receives the 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 వస్తూనే ఉంటాయి కంటిన్యూగా. That is an ideal state. So whenever the start bit is 0, that can be identified by the system 2. It understands that. So the data is started. Data start కాకపోతే ones ఉంటాయి అన్ని. Data start అయితే it go with 0 first. అదే స్టార్ట్ బిట్ ని కూడా 1 చేశాను అనుకోండి, by the chance if you are doing start bit also a 1, the problem is it's very difficult to differentiate whether the data is started or not. The reason is, during an ideal case, the channel in sequence of ones. that can be combined with start bit as a 1, so meaningless. So it's very difficult to differentiate that 1 belongs to the ideal channel or belongs to the starting of the data. So that's why during the ideal case, the channel consists of sequence of ones. For the differentiation of the data is initiated, the start bit is always make it as a 0. After end of the character, again the channel is forced into ideal state. That ideal state is 1. That's why the end of the bit is always given as 1. That part is. And after the 8 bits, the stop bit is make it as a 1. మీ డౌట్ రావచ్చు సార్ మధ్యలో ఆఫ్టర్ ఎల్ఎస్బి తర్వాత ఒక 1 ఉందనుకోండి, దట్ వన్ ఈస్ ట్రీటెడ్ యాజ్ ఏ ఐడియల్ ఛానల్ ఆర్ నాట్? No. After 8 bits. So once the start bit is received, 8 bits are sampled for data. After that, whatever the bit we received, that belongs to the stop bit. So this is the way the data is transmitted. Now let us tell me, here there are two important words. One is the bit rate, another one is the baud rate. Anyone? What is the difference between bit rate and baud rate? What is the difference between bit rate and baud rate? Yes? What is the difference between bit rate and baud rate? Anyone? Bit rate and baud rate.
Bit rate means number of bits per second, sir.
Okay. Baud rate is?
No idea, sir.
No idea. Sometimes bit rate and baud rate both are same. That sometime is in binary system. So do you have any idea about your quadrature phase shift key? Quadrature pulse code modulation? Any idea? In a digital communications especially? Okay, anyway, leave it. So bit rate is number of bits per second. Baud rate is number of samples per second. So, but in case of binary encoding techniques, in binary system, so baud rate and bit rate both are same. Baud rates and bit rates are same. Now the question is, the baud rate is 10K. How much time it takes to transmit 1 bit in asynchronous data communication? The bit rate is 10K. How much time it takes to transfer 1 bit? Let the 1K అనుకోండి. Bit rate is 1K. How much time it takes to transfer 1 bit? Or understand the question is very important. Bit rate is 1K. 1K ante 1000. So bit rate what we defined is number of bits per second. Ante 1000 bits are transferred or received per second. Oka second ki 1000 bits వస్తున్నాయి. So what's my question is, how much time it takes for 1 bit? Maybe a transmission, maybe a reception. 1 bit.
NMS.
Yes?
1 millisecond.
1 millisecond. Very simple one is 1 millisecond. Okay. For transferring 1 character in asynchronous communication, how much time it takes? for transferring one character in asynchronous communication with a 1K baud rate, how much time it takes?
సార్ ఇప్పుడు 8 తీసుకోవాలా 10 తీసుకోవాలా సార్?
అది నువ్వు డిసైడ్ చేయాలి నాకు. నేను అందుకని అడిగింది ఆ క్వశ్చన్. యూ హ్యావ్ టు టేక్ 10. వాడు చెప్పండి నీకు. ఆల్రెడీ ఐ సెడ్ దట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ asynchronous communication అని చెప్తున్నాను క్లియర్లీ. Once it is an asynchronous communication, you have to take start bit as well as the stop bit. No need to take parity bit. If they said that there is a parity bit, we have to take parity bit also. But in my statement, there is no parity bit. It is asynchronous data communication. So you have to add start bit as well as the stop bit. That means the character has totally how many bits? 10 bits, including start and stop bits. The total number of bits are 10. The previously was said that for 1 bit it takes 1 millisecond time. For 10 bits, 10 into 1 millisecond, totally it takes 10 millisecond time is required to transfer one character. It's very, 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 very important calculation. And this one is, you are in a position to calculate properly. So they are given baud rate. They are given, it is asynchronous communication. Sometimes they are given. So in asynchronous communication, the data is transmitted in asynchronous communication with one start bit, with one parity bit, with a baud rate of 1K అంటాడు అంతే. One start bit, one parity bit. ఇంకేం చెప్పడు. అప్పుడు టోటల్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ బిట్స్ ఎన్ని వస్తాయి?
10.
మళ్ళీ 10 అంటున్నావు. వేర్ ఇస్ ద స్టాప్ బిట్? వాడు చెప్పినా చెప్పకపోయినా స్టార్ట్ బిట్ స్టాప్ బిట్ మ్యాండేటరీ. ప్యారిటీ బిట్ మాత్రం వాడు చెప్తాడు క్లియర్గా. నేను చెప్పాను ప్యారిటీ బిట్ ఉందని, అంటే టోటల్గా 11 బిట్స్ అవుతాయి. ఇప్పుడు వాడు తెలివిగా ఏమన్నాడు? ఇన్ అసింక్రనస్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ ద డేటా ఈస్ ట్రాన్స్మిటెడ్ విత్ 1 LSB బిట్ 1 ప్యారిటీ బిట్ అన్నాడు. మిమ్మల్ని కన్ఫ్యూజ్ చేశాడు స్టాప్ బిట్ తీసుకుంటారా లేదా అని. బట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు టేక్ స్టాప్ బిట్. వాడు చెప్పలేదు సార్ నేను ఇదే క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తామంటే దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ అసింక్రనస్ కమ్యూనికేషన్. సో యూ హ్యావ్ one stop bit, one start bit. They are mandatory. Parity bit is optional. So they said that in a question there is a parity bit, so that the total number of bits are 11. Total number of bits are 11. 11 into 1 millisecond. It takes 11 milliseconds. 11 milliseconds. So you have to put this information in your mind properly. Okay. So that is about the synchronous and asynchronous communication. In afternoon class, so we will see about the, so once I would like to complete the comparison first. Let us say about the comparison between the asynchronous and synchronous communication. The transmitter and receiver work at different clock signals. So already I told that in a synchronous communication, the both transmitter and receiver must be connected with common clock. So డయాగ్రామ్ లో కూడా క్లియర్గా ఉంటుంది చూడండి. దిస్ ఇస్ ఇన్ సింక్రనస్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ ట్రాన్స్మిటర్ అండ్ రిసీవర్ బోత్ ఆర్ కనెక్టెడ్ విత్ కామన్ క్లాక్. అదే ఇక్కడ ఉండదు. ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ అసింక్రనస్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ దేర్ ఈస్ నో నీడ్ టు కనెక్ట్ ఎనీ కామన్ క్లాక్ సిగ్నల్స్. సో దే రన్ దేర్ ఓన్ క్లాక్ పల్సెస్. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద వెరీ ఫస్ట్ డిఫరెన్సెస్. ఇన్ అసింక్రనస్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ దేర్ ఈస్ నో కామన్ క్లాక్. Transmitter and receiver works at same clock or common clock in a synchronous communication. Next, another difference is for every character we have to represent one start and stop bit. For every character we have to append start and stop bits. But here there is no start and stop bit. Use sync. We have to use sync character that indicates the start of the data. Next, థర్డ్ పాయింట్ చెప్పాలంటే మీకు కొద్దిగా క్యాలిక్యులేషన్ చేయాలి, చెప్తాను. distance limitation is more compared to synchronous communication. So here, mostly this asynchronous communication is preferred over a smaller distances. So synchronous communication most probably used for sending the data as fast as possible because it is a parallel communication. ఇప్పుడు ప్యారలల్గా 16 బిట్ డేటాని ఒక 100 కిలోమీటర్స్ పంపించాలనుకోండి, మీకు ప్రాబ్లం ఎక్కడ వస్తుందండి? దేర్ ఇస్ ఎ 16 బిట్ డేటా వీ నీడ్ టు ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ఓవర్ లాంగ్ డిస్టెన్సెస్, అంటే ఒక 100 కిలోమీటర్స్ పంపించాలి ఇన్ ఎ సింక్రనస్ కమ్యూనికేషన్. వాట్ అబౌట్ హార్డ్వేర్? సింక్రనస్ కమ్యూనికేషన్లో ఏంటంటే ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ బిట్ so we have to design one signal line, అంటే we have to assign one signal line. 16 బిట్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, 16 వైర్స్ కావాలి 100 కిలోమీటర్స్ వరకు. సో we have to go with 16 వైర్స్. అట్లా 1 మెగాబైట్ ఉందనుకోండి, దగ్గర 1,00,000 వైర్స్ కావాలి. దానివల్ల ఏమవుతుంది? ద కాంప్లెక్సిటీ ఈజ్ ఇంక్రీజెస్. That's why in synchronous communication used only for speed to transfer the data as fast as possible. Ekkadaithe where is the speed is an important rather than the data importance, we are prefer the synchronous communication. There is a circuit complexity or hardware complexity. But in case of asynchronous communication, we are using only one signal line. So that may have more than 100 bits of information, 200 bits of information. ఒక సిగ్నల్ లైన్ ఉంటుంది. సో ఒక సిగ్నల్ లైన్ అయితే ఎంత దూరమైనా వేసుకోవచ్చు, దట్ పార్ట్ ఈస్. బట్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఇస్ టైం. 1 bit is transferred within a 1 clock pulse. సో 100 డేటాలు ఉంటే 100 క్లాక్ పల్సెస్ కావాలి. ఒక క్లాక్ పల్స్ 1 millisecond టైం తీసుకుంటే ఫర్ 100 bits it takes 100 milliseconds of time. So that is the problem is. That's why distance is not limited. Limitation em ledhu ikkada, distance limitation of synchronous communications. But the problem is speed. It takes more time to transfer the data. But in other side it takes more time, but there is a complexity in circuits. So cheap, less hardware, because here you have only one signal line. Let us see, the expensive, complex, and what I am saying that this point is hardware complexity. Examples are RS-232, RS-485, the I2C protocol and SPI protocols. Let us see, another one is wastage of bandwidth on a topic undandi. Ade point. Overhead is more due to start and stop bits. Less overhead compared to the asynchronous communication. So I will tell you one simple example. Let us take, listen carefully, sync character. Mostly that one has 8 bits of data. Oka sync character ante minimum 8 bits unna. Let us assume that is a 8 bits. Sync character is 8 bits. That is the first clarity is required. Second one is, example is, I would like to transfer 100 characters. In synchronous communication as well as a asynchronous communication. Can you tell that how much bandwidth is required in asynchronous communication to transfer 100 characters? How much bandwidth is required to transfer 100 characters in asynchronous communication? Very simple calculation. ఎంత బ్యాండ్విడ్త్ అయితే కావాలండి మీకు? సరే, ఇంకొక రకంగా చెప్దాం. ద అవైలబుల్ బ్యాండ్విడ్త్ ఇస్ 1000 బిట్స్ అండి. నా దగ్గర ఉన్న బ్యాండ్విడ్త్ వచ్చి 1000 బిట్స్ బ్యాండ్విడ్త్ ఉంది. అంటే ఆ ఛానల్ నుంచి వీఆర్ ఇన్ ఏ పొజిషన్ టు ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ 1000 bits only. More than 1000 bits is not possible. మన దగ్గర ఎన్ని క్యారెక్టర్స్ ఉన్నాయి? We have 100 characters. 100 characters. Each character, how many bits it takes? 8 bits. Each character is represented with 8 bits. In coming to the asynchronous communication, so there are 100 characters. Each character is represented with 8 bits. The total number of bits are 800. But in case of asynchronous communication, for every character, 2 bits are added. Is it correct? Yes?
Yes.
For every character, 2 bits are added. The total, how many bits are additionally added? How many bits are?
200.
200 bits. 200 bits. And the total ఎంత? 800 bits for 100 characters. Appending extra bits, start and stop bits వచ్చి 200 bits. And the total ఎన్ని bits total అయిన 1000 bits వచ్చేసాయి. అవైలబుల్ బ్యాండ్విడ్త్ ఎంత? 1000 bits. సో మనం పంపించే 100 characters రిక్వైర్డ్ బిట్స్ ఎన్ని? 1000 bits. So that in asynchronous communication, it is possible to transfer the 100 characters in a 100 characters in a 1000 bandwidth, 1000 bits of bandwidth. Okay, బానే ఉంది. Coming to the synchronous communication, in a synchronous communication, there is no start and stop bits. Start to లేదు, stop to లేదు. But it adds the sync character. That sync character is appended only once. That is the starting of the data. So now already I note you, the sync character length is 8 bits only. Sync character length is 8 bits. Even in synchronous communication also, so we are in a position to transfer 100 characters. So 100 characters means how many bits? 100 into 8. The total number of bits are 800 bits. What is the size of sync character is? 8 bits only. The total number of bits are 808 only. 808. 800 bits for so and so. Plus 8 is only for sync characters. Only for sync character. The totally 808. What is the available bandwidth is? 1000 bits. What is the usage of bandwidth is? 802. 808. 808. Or understand the differences? Yes? I think
Yes, sir.
one case అంటే synchronous case, we are using 808 bits of bandwidth. In another case, we are using 1000 bits of bandwidth. Which one is effectively uses bandwidth? Among two, which one is effectively uses bandwidth? Synchronous or asynchronous?
Synchronous.
Yes?
Synchronous, sir.
Synchronous. Effectively అంటే 1000 యూస్ చేస్తే ఎఫెక్టివ్ కాదండి, అలా అనుకున్నారు. సో వీ హ్యావ్ టు మినిమైజ్ ది వేస్టేజ్ ఆఫ్ బ్యాండ్విడ్త్. ఇప్పుడు 101 క్యారెక్టర్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, ఈజ్ ఇట్ పాసిబుల్ టు ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ త్రూ అసింక్రనస్ విత్ 1000 బిట్స్ బ్యాండ్విడ్త్? 101 క్యారెక్టర్స్? నో, because that bandwidth is sufficient only for 100 characters. What about synchronous? Can you transfer 101 characters with the same bandwidth? Yes or no? Yes, it is possible. Yes, it is possible. Because still 192 bits are free. 192 bits are free. So that is another important difference is in asynchronous communication, there is a wastage of bandwidth. Wastage of bandwidth because of overhead bits, start and stop bits. But in case of synchronous communication, the bandwidth is effectively used and the wastage is lesser, meaning is wastage is less. ఇది బాగా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. Chances are there for asking the difference between synchronous and asynchronous communication. ఆ యూనిట్లో చాలా తక్కువ క్వశ్చన్స్కి ఛాన్స్ ఉంది, వాటిల్లో ఇదొకటి. సో ఆర్ యు ఓకే దిస్ డిఫరెన్స్? కెన్ ఐ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ వన్స్ అగైన్? In a synchronous
Okay, sir.
communication, yes.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే, మీరు ఇద్దరే ఉన్నారు, మిగతా వాళ్ళంతా ఎక్కడ ఉన్నారో తెలియట్లేదు. సో నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ we will see about the architecture of 8251. So how the data is transferred serially bit by bit. Serially bit by bit. So any doubts you can ask. So afternoon as usual at 3:50 we will meet.